The Xia dynasty was also the earliest slave state in Chinese history. The Xia dynasty was founded around 2070 BC and died around 1600 BC, lasting about 470 years. Although the discussion of the Xia dynasty in ancient documents is still a legend, it can be inferred from the record of the lineage of the Shang dynasty in the records of the Yin dynasty that it has been confirmed by the oracle bone inscriptions unearthed in the Yin ruins of Anyang as the history of the faith, and the record of the history of the Xia dynasty in the records of the Xia dynasty should also have a basis. The Xia dynasty was the first dynasty in Chinese history, dating back to the 21st century BC and lasting about 439 years. The Xia dynasty was not only an important political force in Chinese history, but also an era of highly developed culture and technology. Under the rule of the Xia dynasty, ancient Chinese civilization began to gradually form and develop. According to historical records, in Yu's later years, the leaders of various tribes elected Gao Tao, the leader of the Yi people, as Yu's heir. Gao Tao died first, and then recommended Bo Yi as his heir. But Yu secretly cultivated power for his son Qi, and when Yu died, these powerful nobles rose up against Bo Yi and supported Yu's son Qi to succeed him. Qi took advantage of the situation to kill Bo Yi and take the throne. The traditional system of Zhen was abolished and replaced by a hereditary system of succession from father to son. This period of history is regarded as the beginning of the family world in Chinese history. The common view is that the public world has become the family world. Qi established the first dynasty in Chinese history, Xia, and from then on, the primitive society came to an end, and the slave society began, and Qi also became the first emperor in Chinese history. Qi reigned for 9 years and died of illness. After Qi's death, his son Taikong ascended the throne. Taikong is a typical gentleman, eating, drinking, prostituting, and gambling, and doing everything is bad, and his biggest hobby is hunting. Since Taikong hunts all day long, this also just gives the Dongyi people an opportunity to take advantage of. During a safari, Hou Yi, the leader of the poor country of Dongyi, led his troops to capture Yangqing, the capital of the Xia dynasty. And when Taikong was leisurely preparing to return home, he found that his country had been captured by the enemy, and he became homeless. Oh, wrong. It's not homeless, it's homeless. Faced with such an embarrassment, Taikong had only one choice at this time, and that was to escape. However, the Dongyi people are good at riding and archery, and Hou Yi is a famous archer with superb archery skills. Hou Yi ran away when he saw Taikong's legs. Hou Yi quickly chased after him, bent his bow and arrows, and the sharp arrow shot Taikong through the heart, directly killing him on the spot. However, there is also a theory that Taikong did not die but managed to escape. Due to a series of absurd performances during Taikong's reign, which greatly disappointed the people, no one in the princes was willing to help him restore the country. The desperate Taikong could only wander around, and the once rich second generation became a poor dick overnight. And in the end, Taikong lived in a place called Yangxia and died here. This period of history is known in history as Taikong Lost Country, also known as later Yi Dynasty Xia. At this time, the Xia dynasty was only passed down for 2 generations before it was replaced by foreigners. After Hou Yi seized the power of the Xia dynasty, he did not replace it himself, but supported a puppet to be the monarch, and this person was Taikong's younger brother Zhongkong. Zhongkong was not willing to be a puppet. He also wanted to restore the country and tried to murder Hou Yi, but after all, his arm couldn't twist his thigh, and Zhongkong was still under house arrest by Hou Yi and finally died of depression. However, Hou Yi's good days did not last a few days, and soon he also followed in the footsteps of Taikong. Hou Yi believed that his archery skills were superb. He thought he was invincible in the world, and he looked down on anyone. Not long after, a retainer named Han Sun, some historical records record that it is a righteous son, taking advantage of Hou Yi's return from hunting, waited for an opportunity to assassinate Hou Yi and seize the throne. At this point, the power of the Xia dynasty changed hands again and fell into the hands of Han Sun. Han Xuan himself is also a member of the Dongyi tribe, surnamed Yu, and was enshrined in the country of Boming, so he took Boming as his clan. It is said that Han Sun's wife is from the Jili clan and is a descendant of Qi Yu, the monarch of the Jili kingdom. Han Sun's good days were also not better for a few days. and he was soon defeated by Zhongkong's grandson Xiaokong. Xiaokong's grandfather Zhongkong was imprisoned by Hui and died, and his father was also killed by Han Sun. So Xiaokong has had a bitter hatred for Hui and Han Sun since he was a child. Xiaokong was determined to avenge his shame since he was a child, and he traveled around the world, lobbied the leaders of various tribes, and finally established a base area of his own, and pulled up an armed team of his own. After years of lying on the salary and trying the courage, Xiaokong united the major tribes and completed his efforts in one battle, eliminating Han Sun in one fell swoop and killing the Han Sun clan. At this point, the regime of the Xia dynasty officially returned to the hands of Xia Qi's descendants. Xiaokong's reign changed the extravagance of the previous monarchs, made great efforts, and worked hard to make the Xia dynasty strong in the hands of Xiaokong. And the historical history of Xiaokong's reign was called Xiaokong Zhongxing. After that, the history of the Xia dynasty entered the middle and late periods, and the throne passed to Kongjia. During the reign of Kongjia, the Xia dynasty was politically chaotic and its national strength gradually declined. The Kongjia Rebellion was a landmark event in the decline of the Xia dynasty, and also foreshadowed the demise of the Xia dynasty. Kongjia, who for 31 years, at this time the Xia dynasty has reached the late stage. After that, the Xia dynasty has experienced Gao Fa to Xia kings, to Xia Fa reign. The princes of all parties have not come to congratulate Xia further decline. After Fa's death, Fa's son, Ji, succeeded to the throne and reigned for 52 years. He is a famous tyrannical king in Chinese history. The last monarch of the Xia dynasty was Ji, and later history books usually called Xia Ji. If Kongjia is just a faint king, then Xia Jian is a faint monarch and a tyrant. Historical records record that Xia Wei was tyrannical and cruel to the people, and he even compared himself to the sun, thinking that he benefited the people. The people hated Xia Wei very much and cursed, "When will this sun," referring to Xia Ji, "disappear? I am willing to die with you." Just when Xia Wei was perverse, the Shang tribe began to rise. The Shang state, originally just a small tribe, the surname of the child, gradually developed into a vassal state. Xia Wei, this person is extremely brutal, and Ji is super fond of this concubine. Build a palace for her, build a yaotai, a jade bed, etc., so the burden on the people increases. At the same time, there were some very capable people who originally wanted to be loyal to Xia Wei, but after persuasion of Ji, they did not see results, so many of them turned to Shang. And Ji often bullied the nearby princes, so he naturally offended many vassal states. Seeing this situation, Shang naturally began to plan to destroy Xia. In the end, Shang Tang, the leader of the Shang tribe, led a large army to fight a decisive battle with the Xia army in the place of Mingtiao, and the Xia army was defeated, and the Xia dynasty perished, and Shang Tang established the Shang dynasty. After the fall of the Xia dynasty, Shang Tang did not kill Xia Wei, but exiled him. The Shang dynasty also began its more brutal rule.